A new report from the Houston Chronicle found Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton's efforts to overturn the 2020 election costing taxpayers thousands of dollars. Taylor Goldenstein is the Austin Bureau reporter for the Houston Chronicle. She's joining me now to talk about what she's learned. Taylor, thank you for your time.
Thanks for having me.
Tell us about your investigation and what you learned.
Yeah, so we wanted to take a look at how much it was costing taxpayers for AG Ken Paxton to defend himself against some of these complaints against him through the state bar. And it's, of course, still early. We don't know the, what the end, how these will turn out, especially because this is a confidential process and it's largely, away from the public view. The only reason why we know about some of these complaints is because some of the complainants have made them public. But we found that so far, the state has spent over $40,000 just on, defending him, writing responses, responding to the state bar, and that kind of thing.
One of the things that I find especially interesting about all of this is that one of these come from more than a dozen attorneys, including 4 former presidents of the state bar. So in your opinion, does this really transcend politics? Is this about more than just red team versus blue team?
Yeah, I think the lawyers who filed the complaint would say that this is not political, that there are, certain rules and obviously procedural rules that lawyers need to follow in order to keep their license. And to them, the actions that he took, they felt that the lawsuit was, they called it frivolous. They said that it included, facts or statements that the Attorney General should have known were false or, had already been debunked in previous court cases. So to them, I think this is purely about, professional conduct and whether it met the standards that are set out by the state. When you look at these complaints, the first argument they're making is that the suit shouldn't have been filed at all, that it was, unconstitutional and so forth. So you have people who think that suit shouldn't have been filed on taxpayer dollar. And on top of it, now that, people have, made an issue of it, now on top of that, the state taxpayers are also having to pay for him to defend himself on this. So for them, it's kind of like a double whammy of things that, they feel like should have been paid out of his own pocket or through some other means in taxpayer funds.
And one of those reasons that you pointed out was you're not required to be active with the state bar in order to be the Attorney General of Texas, right?
That's correct, yeah. And so that's another factor. If it's not something required for his role, they feel, why is he using state dollars to defend himself?
The big question here, Taylor, what is the Attorney General and his office saying about all of this?
Yeah, I think their perspective on it is that the Attorney General was acting in his official capacity when he filed the suit. This was something that they feel was a legitimate complaint and served the interests of Texans who felt that there was voter fraud or other circumstances going on that put the 2020 results in question. So to him, it's second nature. It makes sense that they would also, through his official capacity, be defending him, when there are complaints made about that action he took.
All right, Taylor Goldstein of the Houston Chronicle, we thank you for your time today.
Thank you.